Hello, this is Supercharged Science with Mr. Cox. Today we're going to be looking at the reactivity. Reactivity is how things react with water. In this case, we're looking at sodium metal. On the periodic table, the elements that are in the same column as sodium, they are very reactive. If you put, of course, in a reaction sodium with chlorine, you get sodium chloride. If you put sodium in its normal, usual sense, just how it occurs as a metal by itself, then you can see some pretty spectacular reactions when you put it in water. I'm going to turn the lights out here for a minute just so you can see. And I have water in the beaker, just water. I'm going to put a little screen wire cover over the top so it doesn't get too wild. Then after we do that reaction, I'm going to flip the lights back on and show you a similar reaction. I put the sodium into the water, put the screen wire on it. Let's see what we can see happening. A lot of smoke. You can see the flame down there. There we go. Pretty exciting. The gas coming off of it is hydrogen gas, because these types of metals reacting with water produce hydrogen. You have to watch it a while because sometimes you think it's done and it's not. I use some very long forceps, or what a lot of people would call tweezers, but very large size, to drop it in from a considerable distance, maybe I looked 6 to 8 inches away from it, so that there was a reaction with my hands there close that I don't get burnt. Well, that's still finishing its little reaction. I'm going to flip the lights back on. Let's just put the lights about halfway up. Now, you don't want to use the same water again. That can get a little too exciting. What we're going to do is I'm going to take another piece of sodium metal. This one's a little too big, so I'm going to cut it. When you're handling it, you have to make sure you do have no water, even water droplets, on the knife, on the tongs, anything that's coming into contact with it, or again, it will get a little more exciting than you probably want it to be. We don't want to create a hazard. You notice that I have my safety goggles on. The sodium metal is packed in an oil instead of a water. Now this time, I'm going to move this one back out of the way. I'm going to use a fresh beaker of water. Move this one on back out of the way. Get my little screen wire handy here. This time, first, I'm going to add universal indicator solution. Doesn't take very much of it, but what this does is it works very similar to pH paper, and it will tell you the pH of liquids. Why am I doing this for this reaction? It's because I want you to see that the pH, which is literally the amount of hydronium ions, so how acidic the solution is, or how basic it is. High pHs would be, we get pH 11, 12, 13, 14. Those are very high pHs. They're very basic. They're not acidic. Here, I don't want any water on the table here where I'm doing this, because sometimes these pieces of sodium, when they react, will pop out. And if they do and they hit the water on the table, they'll continue to react there instead of stopping. Notice that the water has a little bit of a green tint to it. This is because the water here where I'm at is slightly basic, so it's not exactly neutral. It's close to neutral, but slightly basic because limestone is our bedrock. What you should be able to see, I'm going to put just a little bit more indicator solution. I'm going to make sure you see that color real good. I don't want to swirl it too much here. I don't want to splash the water out again. After the sodium reacts with it, the color will change because the pH will change the water. I'm going to flip the lights out again. We'll flip them back on and look at the color change afterwards. But we want to see this reaction of the sodium with the metal. I know you do. If you're anything like me, or most people, we like to see things, reactions that are exciting. Okay. Here's my piece of sodium metal going into the container. Put the screen wire on top of it again for safety. Takes a minute. You might be able to see a little bit of flashing, a little bit of smoke going up. It's really not smoke, it's hydrogen vapor. See, that's why you use the screen wire. Now, afterwards, notice that the colors change from a greenish color to a blue color. This is because as the sodium reacted with the water, it changed the pH. So that's all for this experiment. I think you probably got a big bang out of that one. That's Mr. Cox, and I'll see you in another Supercharged Science video.